Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the class. I hope you all are safe and healthy too. In this session, we are going to study the chapter complex numbers, right? So, first of all, the question comes, what is this type of numbers? Because this type of numbers is being introduced in 11th standard in CBSE curriculum. Till 10th standard, whatever the numbers you are studied about the real numbers only, right? So what is the need of these numbers and why this complex number need to be understand, right? To just understand the need of this chapter, I would try to recall the quadratic equation or roots of quadratic equation, right? Just the quadratic equation, the standard form of quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, right? So, if you want to find the roots of quadratic equation, we were finding first the nature of roots, that is called discriminant, is calculated by b square minus 4ac. If the discriminant is greater than 0, you would say the roots are possible and alpha and beta are different. If the discriminant equal to 0, you would say yes, roots are exist but they are equal, right? Here you would say alpha and beta are not equal but alpha and beta are the roots of quadratic equation. But when the discriminant is negative, when the discriminant value, that is b square minus 4ac value, is negative, you simply say there is no real roots, and you are simply leaving the question here itself by stating that there is no real roots, means we cannot solve this quadratic equation to find the roots, right? This is up to 10 standard. But if there is no real roots, it means that definitely there are the roots which are not real. And what is that not real? Right? Because if you take the equation x square plus 1 equal to 0, it is a quadratic equation, right? So if it is a quadratic equation, its degree is 2. Its degree is 2. So definitely it must have two roots. It must have two roots, because that definition speaks whatever the degree of the quadratic equation, that much number of roots are possible. This is a fundamental statement. I repeat, if the degree of any polynomial equation is n, it implies that n number of n number of roots are possible. So this is what we call a fundamental statement of algebra, right? So if the degree is 3, there must be 3 roots are possible. Degree is 1, so there must be 1 root is possible. Whether the root is real or not real, it doesn't make any difference. So if this is a universal truth, so this is a quadratic equation. If this is the quadratic equation, so if degree is 2, it must have 2 roots. But when you solve this quadratic equation, like x square equal to, if x square plus 1 equal to 0, x square equal to minus 1. But when you observe this equation, you would say, sir, square of any real number, never negative. But in this quadratic equation, you are getting x square is equal to minus 1. It means you are speaking that square of a number is negative, which is not possible in the real number system. It means that there is a system which we need to understand which is beyond the real number system, and that we called as complex number system, where this type of numbers can also be defined, right? So that's why this complex number need to be understood just to solve a quadratic equation where the discriminant is negative, where the discriminant is negative, where no real roots are possible. It means there are the roots which are not real but they are possible. And how it is possible? To understand that, we need to study the complex number which is beyond the real number system. We need to expand our understanding of the number system to great extent. That is the other phase which you have not studied till 10th standard, that is called as complex numbers. So in the complex number system, a square of a number may be negative. A square of a number may be negative in the complex number system, not in the real number system. Now, how it could be possible? How it could be possible? That is what we are going to understand. If it is possible, then we can solve the quadratic equation. We can find the roots of quadratic equation where the discriminant is less than 0 also. Though the discriminant value is less than 0, we can able to find the roots of quadratic equation. This is a fundamental objective of this chapter, our introduction of this chapter. So this is the main purpose of introducing the complex numbers in the curriculum. Fine. So now, to before getting into the topic, objective is very clear. What is the purpose to understand the complex numbers is simply finding the roots of quadratic equation where the discriminant is negative, means where the real roots are not exist, right? To find the roots, in this case, we need to extend the real number system to a big number system, and that big number system is called a complex number system. In that number system, you will be able to find the roots of quadratic equation where the discriminant is less than 0, where this type of equations exist, where a square of a number may be a negative. Okay, so let's have a discussion on that, how it could be possible, and what is this quadratic equation and how it can be resolved. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm taking the common example, that is what a quadratic equation x square plus 1 equal to 0, which implies that x square is equal to minus 1, which also states x is equal to, right, plus minus under root of minus 1, or you may also state in general x is equal to under root of minus 1. Now, this is a number where we are not accepting. Under root of negative numbers are not accepted in the real number system. Hence, these numbers are accepted in the imaginary number system, which is not real. Which is not real. So, under root of negative numbers are accepted in the imaginary number system by, it is introduced by Leonardo Euler. First time he solved this type of quadratic equation by assuming this is an imaginary number. So since it is an imaginary number, he denote this type of under root of minus 1 with I. I stands for imaginary number, that is Euler simply solved, or simply he just denoted this type of imaginary numbers with the letter I, that is small I. Hence, from there itself, under root of minus 1 is represented by I. I stands for, basically he meant to say imaginary numbers. It's also imaginary numbers, right? And the symbol I is known as what? Iota, right? Instead of speaking imagine a number, he said the symbol is iota. So Leonardo Euler simply represented the under root of minus y1, which is not at all real. Hence, he assumed this as imaginary number, and he simply said, just assume this under root minus 1 is I, where I stands for imaginary number. He named this letter as iota, right? Is from Greece country. So in Greek language, these imaginary numbers are known as what? Iota. Hence, under root of minus 1 is represented by the letter I. Hence, I stands for under root of minus 1. Therefore, you would also speak if under root of minus 1 is I, which implies here x is equal to plus or minus I. Hence, the roots of this quadratic equation is, what are the roots of quadratic equation then? Here, the roots of quadratic equation is what? Plus I and minus I. There are two roots. So hence, you could say, yes sir, degrees 2 means there are two roots are possible, but here the discriminant value is negative, no real roots are possible. In real number system, this type of quadratic equation does not exist. That's why we extended our number system to a big number system where this type of numbers can be defined, can be accepted, and that number system we called as complex number system, where in the complex number system in under root of minus 1 is treated as imaginary number denoted by I. I stands for here iota. Hence iota value is defined as under root of minus 1. In this way, the roots of this quadratic equation will coming in iota language, plus I and minus I. Now the problem has been solved. Now the statement which we have quoted, that nth degree quadratic equation has n roots is valid in complex number system. So here finally, after this entire discussion, we conclude that under root of minus 1 is simply denoted by I by Euler. So from there itself, that complex number system has been started, and it is just keep on growing and become a branch of mathematics apart from the real number system. Fine. So now first we are going to understand the power of I, right? So what is I here? Basically, when you speak I in this chapter, I stands for iota. Wherever under root of minus 1 comes, we'll simply replace it with I and we'll simply solve the equations and whatever. Okay. So let's try to understand the power of I first. What is power of I? What is the concept we are going to understand? Power of I. Now you know I stands for iota. Okay, iota. So where I stands for under root of minus 1, though it is plus or minus 1, under root of minus 1, but for sake of convenience, we are taking it at positive under root of minus 1, negative under root of minus 1 will keep aside. So I is equal to under root of minus 1, which also implies that squaring on both the side, if I do squaring on both the side, I square value is minus 1. So in this manner, now I want to find I power 3, power of I am just introducing the power of I cube value. I cube value means I can write it as I square into I. So I square value is minus 1. So minus 1 into I, which is equal to minus I. So basically I cube stands for I square is minus 1. I means I only, that is under root of minus 1. Then I to the power of 4. I to the power of 4 means I square into I square, that is minus 1 into minus 1, which is equal to plus 1. So I power 4 value is 1. So if you observe the power of I, as power increases, first the iota value is under root of minus 1, I square, squaring on both the sides, so minus 1, I cube by solving minus I power 4 is 1. So I am writing these values first aside. I means under root of minus 1. I square value is minus 1. I cube is simply, what do you say here? Minus I, right? Minus I. I power 4 is 1. Okay. So you may also speak I is equal to under root of minus 1, or I stands for I only, right? So I stands for I square is minus 1, I cube is, and I power 4. So if you are moving further with the higher power of the I, what you will see? I power 5. If I want to find the power of I as 5, so I power 5 means it is simply I power 4 into I. So I power 4 means its value is 1, 1 into I is I. So I power 5 is I only. I power 6. I power 6 means I can write I power 4 into I square. I power 4 is 1, I square is minus 1. So their product is minus 1. I power 7. I power 7. It's simply I power 4 into I cube. It's simply what? I into I power, sorry, I cube is minus y, and their product is minus I. So when you are solving, what you have observed, I am increasing the power, I power 8. So I power 8 means simply I can write I power 4 into I power 4. Just I am breaking the power in terms of 4, so that I power 4 is 1. It is so simple to solve. So I power 4 is 1 into I power 4 is 1. So 1 into 1 is 1. So if you observe the values of this power, either you are ended with I, or you are ended with minus 1, or you are ended with minus I, or you are ended with 1. Means when you solve the power of I, it's simply your answer will be ended with only 4 options. Either you ended with I, minus 1, minus I, plus I. Are you understood? So whatever with the power, it may be a positive integer or negative integer, whatever, your answer will be ended with only 4 options, either plus 1, minus 1, plus I, and minus I. Only 4 answers are possible, nothing else. That is what the power of I concept. Now, with this concept, right? With this understanding, now you will be able to solve the NCERT based question where the power of I questions are there. Let's have a discussion on that. Just by keeping the four things, I means I only, don't substitute the value of I as under root of -1 anywhere in the chapter. कभी भी I की वैल्यू आप अंडर रूट -1 सब्स्टिट्यूट नहीं करेंगे because you wanted to speak the answer in a convenient language, and I is a convenient language, iota language only you need to express the answers. Yeah. Now there are few questions which are there in the NCERT where you need to solve the questions like questions are from the exercise itself. I am taking 5.1, right? So we need to solve this question. See, I power 9 plus I power 19. Now you can see what I will do first. I power 9 and I power 19. So first I will try to split the power in the multiples of 4. In the multiples of 4, it would be very easy to write the answer thereafter, right? So for that, what I will do is, first always I will try to write this as the multiple of 4, that is 4 into 2, that is 4 to the 8 plus 1. So in this way, first I will split the power of I. So I am solving I power 9 value first, and then I will solve I power 19, then I will add both the results. This is the simplest way. So I power 9 means I power 4 to the 8 plus 1. So then I can write it as I power 4 whole square, because x to the power of m into n, x to the power of m into n means x to the power of m whole to the power of n. In this manner I can write. Yeah, otherwise you may also increase one step here. It is in the form of x to the power of m plus n. किस तरीके से है ये? X to the power of m plus n will written as x to the power of m into x to the power of n. These are the two identities we are going to use in the concept of power of I. We'll write the power of I by using these two identities. The first one is, I will express the power of I as the multiples of 4, and whatever the remainder will be there, I will write it as plus something, 4 to the 8 plus 1. So now I will write, this is what in the form of x to the power of m plus n. So I can write it as x to the power of m into x to the power of n. So I to the power of 4 into 2 into I to the power of 1. I just separated the power. Now in the next step, in the form of x to the power of m into n, can written as x to the power of m whole to the power of n. Hence I would able to write I to the power of 4 power 2 into I, because I power 1 is I only. And you know what is the value of I power 4? I power 4 is always 1. So hence I can write it as 1 square into I. 1 square is 1 only, hence 1 into I is I. Your answer is I. I power 9 is I. So this is a technique we have to use while solving the power of I. This is a fundamental way, right? What is the other way to sir? Other way to write? What is the easiest way? और इससे भी easy हो सकता है मैंने हाँ हो सकता है. But it become a time consuming process when the power of I is greater, right? So though I am just showing another way is how to solve this I power 9. I power 9 is there. Just try to write it as power of 4. I power 4 into I power 4 into I power 1. You can see I can add the powers 4 plus 4, 8 plus 1, 9. So I power 9 can written as I power 4 into I power 4 into I power 1. So I power 4 is what? 1 into 1 into I. So 1 into 1 is 1, 1 into I is I. So I power 9 is I. This way also you can do. No need to use of this फंडामेंटल मेथड. आप ये मेथड यूज करें नहीं करें, अगर आपको समझ नहीं आ रहा तो आप इस मेथड से भी कर सकते हो, यानी कि आई का पावर 4 करते हुए पूरी पावर को ब्रेक करते जाओ, राइट, और वॉट एवर द रिमाइंडर वुड बी देयर दैट विल बी लेफ्ट ओवर हियर, and then substitute I power 4 as 1, then your answer will be I. This will also work, right? Anyway you can move, but ये मेथड तब वर्कआउट होगा जब इसका पावर 1 डिजिट या मैक्सिमम 2 डिजिट होगा. अगर मैं दे देता हूं I पावर 439, so it is not possible to write in this way, but it is possible when the power of I is a smaller digit. Okay, let's have now I power 19. I power 19 means how we can write I power 19. See, so I power 19. So I power 19 we have to write as a multiple of 4. 4 का टेबल में ही आपको ब्रेक करना है. 4 4s are 16 and the remainder is 3. Hence now you can break the power. I power 4 4 into I cube. So we can write as I power 4 whole power 4 into I cube value is, what is the value of I cube? Minus I over, and I power 4 value is 1. So 1 to the power of 4 into minus I. Its answer is minus I. So I power 19 is minus I power 9 is I. Now finally what do you want to find? I power 9 plus I power 19. I power 9 value is I power minus 19 is what? Minus I. Plus I minus I get cancelled. Answer is C. So when you are solving the power of I, definitely you will get the final answer as I minus 1 minus n plus n. Thereafter, according to the question, whether it is an addition process or subtraction, multiplication or division, whatever, based on that, your final answer will differ. Okay, so now in this way, we are also going to take some more sums where the power of I is negative. Now I am taking the question where the power of I is negative. So how can we solve? I power minus 3 value, right? Iota power minus 3 value. So how can I solve this I power minus 3? I know that I power minus 3 can written as 1 upon I cube, right? Just by reciprocating. You know that x power or x by y whole to the power of minus 1 means y by x whole to the power of n. Reciprocal the base. Okay. So by with the help of this identity, I would say that I power minus 3 can written as 1 by I cube. It's simply just like x power minus 3 is 1 by x cube. Now I can solve this. How? See, 1 upon I cube value. What is the value of I cube? What is the value of I cube is minus I. So I am writing I cube as minus I. Since iota is left in the denominator, we need to do rationalization. Remember, whenever you are in the solution, if you got the iota terms in the denominator, we will go for rationalization to simplify further. Just like हम कभी भी आंसर्स को, right, if your answer is 1 by root 2, you never leave the answer in this way, you always do the rationalization of denominator. हम यहाँ से rationalize करते हैं root 2 से multiply करके. Similarly, जब iota अगर आपके denominator में होता है solution में, हमेशा आपको करना है rationalization of this iota. So rationalization किससे करेंगे? If it is minus I, then do with that minus I only. Just go with that. So if I do the rationalization of this, so minus I से अगर हम या plus I से भी कर सकते हो, that's up to you. So minus I से मैं कर रहा हूँ, चलिए. So 1 into minus I is minus I. Minus I into minus I is what? Plus. Minus into minus plus. And I into I is what? I square. So minus I upon I square value is minus 1. Simply substitute minus 1. Minus minus get cancelled. Your answer is I. So I power minus 3 value, we got it as I. So I think the problem is solved. When the power of I is negative, simply what we'll do the reciprocal of that value and we'll simplify further. If in the simplification any iota terms left, then go for rationalization. Rationalization means, if it in the form of a plus b, you will go for a minus b. A minus b होगा तो a plus b से करेंगे. That's what we are doing in a real number system. जो सिंप्लीफिकेशन हम रियल नंबर सिस्टम में करते थे, वही सिस्टम को हम कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर सिस्टम में भी करेंगे. ओके, सो नाउ आई थिंक दिस इज वेरी क्लियर. नाउ आई एम टेकिंग वन मोर सम बेस्ड ऑन द पावर ऑफ I concept. See, but these are the fundamental things you have to remember while solving. Now I want to solve I to the power of 439 value. What is the value of I power 439? So simply whatever be the power, first write it as a multiple of 4. That is a fundamental one. Just go for that. So I to the power of 4 into, just 4 से divide करिए. 4 ones are, right? 0, 4 nines are 36. 4 109s are plus 3 is a remainder. That's it. So I have written the power of this I as a multiple of 4 and whatever the remainder, that is written as plus 3. Then thereafter, then split this power with the help of identity. So it can be written as I into, right, 109 into I cube, and thereafter we can written as I power 4 whole to the power of 109 into I cube value is, minus I, and then I power 4 value is 1, so 1 power 109 is 101 only into minus I, so 1 into minus I is minus I. That's it. So this is what the process of solving the power of I whenever it is a bigger integer. Let's take the last question based on the power of I concept. It is the question I am taking from miscellaneous exercise. Remember, I am taking the question from miscellaneous exercise. Let's see. Question is evaluate that I to the power of 18 plus 1 by I to the power of 25 whole cube. Yeah. So step by step you need to solve, nothing else. It may be a biggest expression. Step by step approach is feasible. Now first I will solve this one and then I will go for this and I will add both the result. Then I will solve this the outer power. Show you. So we know how to write this as I to the power of 4 4 is 16 plus 2. I'm just splitting this one. Plus this can be written as what? 1 upon, because 1 to the power of 25 is 1 only, and it become what? I to the power of 25 whole cube. And thereafter it's plus, it's addition. Now you can separate the powers here. How can I write it as I to the power of 4 power 4 into I square, plus here I to the power of 4 5 4 6 are 24, 1 is the remainder, 25 को हम 4 का मल्टीपल में लिखेंगे, 4 6 are 24 plus 1, so hence I to the power of 4 6 are 24 into I whole cube. And then simply the I power 4 value is 1, so simply replace this value with 1, so 1 to the power of 4 into I square value is minus 1 plus 1 upon I power 4 value is 1 power 6 into I whole cube. Okay, thereafter you will see plus 4 and 1 into minus 1 is minus 1 plus 1 upon I power 3. It's simply, again we are left with iota in the denominator, then definitely we'll go for rationalization over here. Okay, don't take LCM first. First simplify individual fraction. Okay, actually. So minus 1 plus, I'm simplifying this by rationalizing with iota. So what you will get? 1 into I is I only, and I into I is I square, and I square value is minus 1. So it becomes what? Minus 1 plus iota by minus 1 whole cube, and plus into minus minus, so minus 1 minus I whole cube. So this expression is left. Now I can take minus as a common factor from this bracket. So I would say it becomes what? To just, okay, I am just erasing this question to just for this space. Space के लिए मैं ये रख कर रहा हूँ. Right. So I am taking this minus 1 minus I whole cube. If I take minus common from the entire expression, it becomes 1 plus I whole cube. Hence, you can also speak this minus 1, right? Whole cube is minus 1 only, so minus I 1 into 1 plus I whole cube. So just simply now expand with the help of identity of a plus b whole cube. So a plus b whole cube means a cube plus b cube plus 3a square b plus 3a b square. Now you will see 1 cube is 1 only, I cube is minus I, 3 into 1 into I, it becomes only 3I. I square is minus 1, so minus 1 into 1 is this, this total term becomes minus 3. So minus, so I minus 3, sorry, 1 minus 3 is minus 2, minus I plus 3I is plus 2I, then multiply with this minus sign, you will get 2 minus 2i. So this is your final answer after simplification. So it is only the part of simplification, nothing else. There are two different parts. So I have solved separately first as much as I can, and then there was I left in the denominator. I gone for rationalization of denominator with I होगा तो iota से ही rationalize करें. I से मैंने rationalize किया and then I got one simplified form. It is the form of a plus b whole cube. Then I have used the identity to expand it and then I able to solve it. So this is what the power of I concept. So simply at the end I would say the power of I means it simply you need to express the power of I in multiples of 4, nothing else, and just go with the simplification. So whenever you are solving the power of I, you will be ended with either the answer 1, minus 1, I and minus I. Only 4 values you are going to get. Fine. So this is what concept of what power of I. So we are here covered the introductory topic and the power of I. Now we are going for going to understand the standard form of the complex number and what is meant by the standard form, how it can be written, how it can be represented, what are the parts of complex number. It's so simple to understand. Once you cross this power of I concept means your chapter is deadly easy to understand now. Chill. Fine. What is the standard form of complex number? So basically real numbers are denoted by capital R. In simply here the complex numbers are denoted by capital C, but specifically it is denoted by a small z. A small z, not the capital Z. Capital Z representing integers, small z representing complex numbers. And complex number means it's a combination of real and imaginary numbers, where A stands for real part of complex number, B stands for imaginary part of complex number. A को हम क्या बोलते हैं? Real part of Z, and B is called imaginary part. So in short में लिख देते I am of Z. So and I is called iota, whose value is under root of minus 1. So here the complex number is denoted by small z, which is always written as the combination of real and imaginary number, always written in the form of a plus ib, where a stands for real part of z, b stands for imaginary part of z, I stands for iota, whose value is under root of minus 1. So now I can write many examples of complex numbers. So basically when we are dealing with complex number, so we are dealing with both the type of numbers, real number system, imaginary number system. So till 10th standard we were studying about real numbers, and thereafter we are extending our knowledge to the understanding which is not real, which we called as imaginary number, and their combination is called complex numbers, where real numbers and imaginary numbers combination will be there, which is always written as a plus ib form. Now I can write the examples of complex numbers like 3 plus 4i is a complex number. 2 minus 3i is a complex number. Minus root 2 plus 3i is a complex number. Right? minus 1 minus I root 3 is a complex number. So there are several complex numbers you may write just by changing value of A and B, right? Where basically if you see A and B are basically real numbers. But when it is multiplied with I, it becomes what? Imaginary number. Hence, that is why B is called imaginary number of complex number. Nothing else. Fine. So here, what is the real part of this complex number? I am writing real part of the complex number, imaginary part of complex number. So what is the real part of this complex number? 3. What is the imaginary part of complex number? 4. Real part of complex number 2. Imaginary part is minus 3. Along with this sign you need to speak. Real part of complex number minus root 2. Imaginary part 3. Real part minus 1. Imaginary part minus root 3. So in every complex number there are basically two parts. The real part and the imaginary part. If you are combining them with iota, it's forming complex number. Getting? So vice versa case, इन दोनों से complex number बनता है, complex number से इन दोनों parts बनते हैं. तो complex number का standard format जो होता है, standard form of complex number is a plus ib. Complex numbers are denoted by a small z. So standard form of complex number means you need to express the given question in the form of a plus ib, where a stands for real part of complex number, b stands for imaginary part of complex number. So in the entire exercise, we are just moving around to express the given value in the form of a plus ib, which we called as standard form of complex number. Nothing else, only the simplification, simplification, simplification. Now let's take some question from exercise where we need to express them in the what? Standard form. Check. I am taking the questions to write it in the standard form. Right. Yeah. Questions are like this. See what we are getting. Question is here 3 into 7 plus 7i plus I into 7 plus I7. Now what is this? It's simply a multiplication process. आप I को ये समझ लीजिए एक तरह की x है, right? अब x होगा तो हम क्या करते हैं? सिंपली मल्टीप्लाई करते हैं और ग्रुपिंग करते हैं लाइक टर्म्स को, x टर्म्स को, वेरिएबल टर्म्स वन साइड एंड कांस्टेंट टर्म्स को अदर साइड. बस वही कंसेप्ट से आपको सॉल्व करना है और कोई ज्यादा दिमाग लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है. चलिए, just multiply the expression with 3. What you will say here? 21 plus 21i and multiply with I over here. So 7i plus I into I square into 7. And wherever here I square, I cube, I power 4 will comes. So you need to substitute their values. So 21 plus 21i plus 7i will give 28i. Then I square is minus 1. So minus 1 into 7. This is minus 1 into 7. So minus 7. Minus 7 plus 21 is 14. 14 plus 28i. So you are able to express the final answer in the form of a plus ib, where a is equal to 4, D is equal to 28. So you have expressed the answer in the form of A plus IB means your answer is over. So how simple it is. Only you need to simplify the expression, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, rationalization, a plus b whole cube, a minus b whole cube, all identities जो algebra आपने 9 10 में पढ़ा है वो सारा algebra यूज करिए, सिंप्लीफाई करिए, ग्रुपिंग करिए, लाइक टर्म्स यानी आयोटा टर्म्स को एक तरफ लिखिए, कांस्टेंट टर्म्स को एक तरफ लिखिए, दैट्स इट। अल्टीमेटली वो पूरा फॉर्म a प्लस आई बी बन जाएगा और वही आपको रिक्वायरमेंट है। What is that? A plus IB means the standard form you got. Now let's take another question where they are asking the standard form. Just we need to write in the standard form. हमें standard form में लिखना है. Question is simply yeah, a 1 minus I to the power of 4, right? Just you, if it is a square, you can use a minus b whole square. If it is a cube, you can use a minus b whole cube identity. But you might not have a knowledge about 1 minus I power 4 kya hoga. So when in this case, you can just split the power as like 1 minus I the whole square, That's it. Now you can use the a minus b whole square identity first inside the bracket. Use that. A square plus b square minus 2ab whole square. Now see, what is the value of I square? I square value is minus 1. So substitute that 1 plus of minus 1 minus 2I the whole square. Plus 1 minus 1 0. What left? Minus 2I the whole square. Now open this square here. 4, it become positive 4I square. So 4, I square value is minus 1, answer is minus 4. Right? Answer is minus 4, but it is not in the standard form. What is the standard form you need to write? You need to write the answer in the form of A plus IB. Hence, if there is no I part, there is no imaginary part in the answer, I would write minus 4 as minus 4 plus I into 0. So minus 4 को हम एक स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्म में कैसे लिख सकते हैं? minus 4 plus I into 0. I into 0 is 0 only, hence minus 4 is equal to minus 4. So standard form means what we have to write, just simplify the value in just like algebra form, and whatever the value comes, express in the form of a plus ib at the end. So if a is not there, keep it as 0. If b is not there, keep it as 0. That's it. Over. So here the real part of the complex number is minus 4. Imaginary part is 0. So I would say the real part of the complex number is minus 4. Imaginary part of complex number is 0. Over. Getting? Now, just for your sake of convenience, I would like to take another question. Just to gain your confidence in the chapter. Question is 1 by 3 plus 3I the whole cube. Just we need to express in the standard form, that is a plus ib form. Now it is directly in the form of a plus b whole cube. I will simply use the identity of a plus b whole cube. What is the identity of a plus b whole cube? You might be knowing this. A cube plus b cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square. Use this identity and expand this. So when you expand this by using 1 plus 3, 3I the whole cube, which means that 1 by 3 whole cube plus 3I whole cube plus 3 into 1 by 3 whole square into 3I plus 3 into 1 by 3 into 3I the whole square. Just simplify this. That's it. Over. 1 by 3 whole cube means 1 by 27. 3I the whole square means 27I cube. Here 3 into 1 by 3 square means 1 by 9 into 3I plus 3 get cancelled, 9I square. Here 3 ones are, 3 threes are, and 3 get cancelled. Now 1 by 27 plus 27 into I cube value is minus I. Wherever I cube, I squares are there, substitute their values. Then plus 1 is remainder here and 9 into I square value is minus 1. I have substituted the value of I cube and I square here and simplify further. So 1 by 27 plus 1, I am just grouping the real parts and the imaginary part. Oh, sorry. Minus 1 into 9 minus 9. It is also a real number. Just a minute. So 1 by 27 minus 27I minus 9 plus 1 is minus 8. Now just group the real numbers. 1 by 27 minus 8 minus 27I. So by taking LCM and all, you will be able to write some value here. So 1 minus 8 into 27, 8 sevens are 56, 16, 21, that is 216, this one. Minus 215, minus 215 by 27, minus 27I over. I got in the form of A plus IB, where A is equal to minus 215 by 27, where B is minus 27. So, friends, I hope you have understood how to express the given question in A plus IB form just by simply simplify the expression as much as you can to express them finally in the form of A plus IB. Simply wherever I cube, I square, I power 4. I cube, I square, I power. Apart from I, wherever iota terms will come, substitute their values. And like terms, always start grouping the like terms. Real number को एक साथ लिखिए, iota numbers को एक साथ लिखिए, and then you will see the final answer will always be expressible in the form of A plus IB. Whichever the part is not there, that value is considered as 0. Okay, now we are moving to the fourth concept, and that is the last concept where and the rest of the two parts will take in the next session. Okay, let's have a discussion on that. Yeah. Only two terms you need to understand. If Z is a complex number in the form of A plus IB, then there are two terms you need to understand. Additive inverse of complex number of Z, and multiplicative inverse. That's it. Multiplicative inverse. There are two inverses are possible of any number. One is the additive inverse, second is what? Multiplicative inverse. So additive inverse means minus Z, and multiplicative inverse means 1 by Z over. That's it. So 1 by z are also represented by z power minus 1. So if any complex number given to you, right, then you need to find sometimes additive inverse, sometimes what? Multiplicative inverse. Additive inverse means minus z, means the entire complex number is multiplied with that minus 1. The sign of AB will interchange. And multiplicative inverse means 1 upon A plus IB value. That is 1 by Z, represented by Z power minus 1. Now I am taking one question here. 2 plus 3i is a complex number, right? Now I want to find its additive inverse. So additive inverse means the entire complex number is multiplied by minus 1. So if you multiply with minus sign, that is minus of 2 plus 3i, which is equal to minus 2 minus 3i over. This is called additive inverse. Only we are multiplying the entire complex number with minus 1. Now multiplicative inverse means reciprocal of given complex number. That's it. It's so simple. If 2 plus 3i is a complex number, then its reciprocal is called multiplicative inverse. Because when you multiply these two values, you'll always get 1. That's why it is called multiplicative inverse. Now we know we never left the complex number in the denominator. Hence, to simplify further, we need to do rationalization. If in the form of a plus b, we'll multiply with a minus b. If it is a minus b, we'll multiply with a plus b. So 1 upon 2 plus 3i is there. It means we'll multiply this complex number with 2 minus 3i. 2 minus 3i. That's it. Now 1 into 2 minus 3i is 2 minus 3i by a plus b into a minus b. It means a square minus b square simply. So 2 minus 3i by 4 minus 3 into I square. And I square value is minus 1. Hence it is minus 1. So minus 1 into 3 plus finally 2 minus 3i by 4 plus 3 becomes 7. Now you can write it as a standard form 2 by 7 minus 3 by 7 into I. A plus IB form. Always express the answer in the form of A plus IB. So you can see what are the two questions they have framed? Only one complex number given to you. They will ask find the additive inverse. Additive inverse मतलब करना क्या हमें? Minus z value find करना है. Minus z means क्या करना है? Entire complex number को minus 1 से multiply करना है. यानी a और b का sign change हो जाएंगे. And these are called additive inverse. But multiplicative inverse मतलब क्या करना होगा? एक कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर का रेसिप्रोकल फाइंड करना है, यानी कि 1 बाई z की वैल्यू फाइंड करना है, यानी 1 बाई 2 प्लस 3i को बोलते हैं क्या? मल्टीप्लिकेटिव इनवर्स. बट हम यहाँ छोड़ेंगे नहीं, क्योंकि ये आयोटा टर्म है. आयोटा टर्म्स को हम डिनोमिनेटर में नहीं छोड़ेंगे और इसको आगे सिंप्लीफाई करने के लिए हम करेंगे रेशनलाइजेशन. अब रेशनलाइजेशन करते समय जैसा हम क्या करते थे 9th में, अगर a प्लस बी होगा तो a माइनस बी से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, a माइनस बी होगा तो हम a प्लस बी से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे. उसी तरीके से 2 प्लस 3 होगा तो 2 माइनस 3 है, 2 माइनस 3i होगा तो 2 प्लस 3i से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे और उसको आगे सिंप्लीफाई करेंगे और फाइनल आंसर a प्लस ib फॉर्म में एक्सप्रेस करेंगे. This we called as multiplicative inverse. So wherever they are asking find the multiplicative inverse, it means simply you need to find reciprocal of that complex number, right? But the final point, to find additive inverse or multiplicative inverse, the given complex number must be in the form of a plus ib only. जब कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर a plus ib फॉर्म होगा तभी आप एडिटिव इनवर्स और मल्टीप्लिकेटिव इनवर्स फाइंड करेंगे। आप कर सकते हैं। अगर a प्लस आई बी फॉर्म में नहीं है क्वेश्चन, तो पहले आप उस क्वेश्चन को सिंप्लीफाई करके a प्लस आई बी फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट करिए। उसके बाद आप उसका एडिटिव इनवर्स भी फाइंड कर सकते हो और उसका मल्टीप्लिकेटिव इनवर्स भी फाइंड कर सकते हो। कंडीशन, गिवन क्वेश्चन मस्ट बी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ a प्लस आई बी। अगर नहीं है, इसका मतलब आपका काम डबल हो गया। पहले क्वेश्चन को सिंप्लीफाई करिए, जो जनरल सिंप्लीफिकेशन हम जो करते हैं वो करके पहले उसको स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्म में लेकर आइए। उसके बाद आप करेंगे एडिटिव इनवर्स एंड मल्टीप्लिकेटिव inverse वाले concept. Are you getting me? So this is all about the chapter here, complex number. So you may solve these four parts from the NCERT, that is 5.1. So you can finish the first exercise from the complex number chapter with the help of this video session, right? This recording session. And in the next session, I will take the quadratic equation where the discriminant is less than 0. I will also take square root of complex number. These two concepts will be taken in the next video lecture. So तब तक के लिए आप लोग just try to watch the video once, twice and thrice in a parts. Though it is a lengthy video, watch it in a parts and try to understand the concept and make a notes properly and try to solve complete 5.1 exercise. See you in the next session, right? So take care of yourself. Thank you all of you for watching since so long.